Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2022 Acura RDX. This is in the A-Spec package. 2-liter turbocharged engine under there, 272 horsepower, 10-speed automatic transmission, wonderfully smooth transmission. Really not a lot of changes for this year compared to last year and the year before, but this is a wonderfully capable luxury SUV. Let's talk about it. This is one of the peppier SUVs. This is very quick. It's not going to break any records with the 0 to 60 times or any of that, but it feels really good and really fast. It's responsive, I think is the way to say it. Hopefully there's not like that bee or whatever it is flying around the lens isn't causing problems. Anyway, love this wonderful blue color. This is a great color. As we walk around it, I'll show you some of the design elements of this. This is a fun to drive and not terribly expensive crossover. So yeah, let's look at the side profile. I'll talk about design. So what you're seeing here is a pretty classic Acura look. Very simple but very well done lines. You can look at the overall profile is very SUV, more of a saloon style than a, say, sedan or car, and lots of interesting elements that make the light bounce in great ways. That's why it looks so good. I'll walk in for some perspective here. So you can see it's small, but it's not compact. This is in the not quite mid-sized range, it's a 2-row. So starting up here, we'll start with the look here on the lines. So you have this line here that creates the fender, then you have this line that kind of bisects it, and this line that finishes it right here. So it's multiple shelves instead of just one big fender hump, which is a cool look. And then you see this line carries across all the way and then just kind of fades out right here as it bends down towards that. That creates the beginning of a belt line under here, starting right off this fender and running across and getting deeper as it goes, so getting more pronounced, sharper. It comes across, goes through there, through this door handle, and keeps going all the way back to top off those rear taillights. That creates the belt line of the car, but it's wide here and thin up there, which is why this line is important, because it bisects where it's the widest. That's a really cool look and creates, again, that multi-shelf lighting that's going on with this. I apologize for the wind. There's not anything I can do about it. Hopefully this mic is helping a little bit. Anyway, and then you can see simple bone lines to make kind of a curve, and then a very pronounced running board here and rockers underneath. It's unusual to see both on a crossover. Usually you have either a running board that sticks out or rocker panels underneath for the strength that they convey. So very well done. And then you see how much bigger this is, how it widens as it goes that way, to make a really sharp look, and just nicely done down there. And then over here you see, starting right about here, you get a feint, and then it gets deeper and deeper to create this rear fender. This creates this cupped shelf right here, great light catcher on multiple levels, and then this comes down and there's your wheel well. The wheels on this are wonderful. I love the turbine look of this kind of wheel. These are a nice fit for this particular vehicle. Then, and I know somebody's going to ask, so I'm just going to tell you, these Bridgestones here are, I don't know what the size of the tire is, but that's a 20-inch wheel. The tire, I think, is a 225/45, but I'll look and I'll fix that on the screen if I'm wrong. So that's kind of the overall what's going on in the design here. The roof line is a really simple, kind of a pencil line running across. And back here, where everything comes together, it creates this thick looking rear pillar, which adds strength to the overall look of the vehicle. Let's go look at the working end back there, and then we'll get inside it. So on the back of this Acura, you can see those lines that were done on the side. They kind of carry over here. You can see a very pronounced line down here, and to create the bumper there. And then these lines follow this The wide and thin and wide, again, that follows what was happening with the belt line across the bodywork. And then you see just this curve here, which underneath is where the button, the little lever style button, I like those. So instead of just pushing something, you feel like you're pulling a lever even though you're not. Cargo area in this is very good. It's deep. It's I'm going to say it's about 4 feet going that way. Nicely laid out. There are D-hooks, tie downs on the floor. They fold up like this in all 4 corners, which is great. And then you have these awesome seat levers. So if you pull this lever on the wall here, that seat drops down. You notice it's almost completely flat. That's great for loading items into here. One downer is where these hinges are. These kind of impede on the entrance, but other than that, you have a lot of room. Now, these seats are tilted back right now, but they are adjustable, so you could tilt them forward to make a flat back to load something in here all the way. So nicely done, really thoughtful back here. Excuse me, if I move this and look underneath here, there is a storage bin here. Now that storage bin is about almost 6 inches deep. It's a pretty good size. Something like this could go in there. It's a pretty good size and useful. That's kind of a nice touch. So let's go look at the interior. So in the back of it, of the RDX here, you can see I have pretty good leg room, considering this is set for me at 6'3". I have pretty good leg room back here. Good headroom, thanks mostly to this panoramic sunroof that's in here. But with that deleted, if for some reason it weren't there, this would actually be a little taller as well. But I have plenty of headroom for somebody my size. Shoulder room is very good. The seats are comfortable, but not, you know, I wouldn't write letters home about them. But they are good seats for back seats. And then you have some pretty good storage, a couple of USB-Cs. These are heated on the outboards, which is unusual in some segments. In the luxury, not so much. But nicely done back here. Now, I think I said that these were adjustable. I was wrong on that. They are not adjustable. I don't have a way to adjust them back down here. I thought I remembered being able to do that, but apparently not. And also, to fold the seat down, there is a latch on the top in the corner on this side and that side to fold the seat down from here. I also like that these doors open to almost 90 degrees, which gives easy entry and exit from this vehicle. Let's go look up front, and I'll talk a little bit about pricing and some other stuff. All right, in the front seat, this is a wonderful vehicle. It feels really good, really comfortable. I love the sport layout and sport seating. Acura wants you to know what this RDX is all about. So front and center and dominant on that center console is the drive mode controller, because this is a sporty crossover. It's meant to be fun to drive. This has several things in this package, with the A-Spec package, with a couple of add-ons. We'll go over the Monroney in a minute. You have a head-up display. There's controls for it over here. Parking and other stuff is over here. You have lots of controls on the steering wheel for things like the infotainment, driver information screen, and cruise control, that kind of stuff. Climate controls in this are very easy to use, and the climate itself is very fast, works very, very well. Defrosts the windows really quickly, learned that this morning. The infotainment is pretty good. Takes a little while to get used to the way the touchpad works, but this is not a terrible touchpad like you find in a Lexus. This is a usable touchpad, but still not my favorite. You know, I prefer a touchscreen because they're just intuitive. I also like, you know, just better control. Even the command knobs are better most of the time. This is a pretty good touchpad. It just takes a while to learn it. There's a bit of a curve there. Now, The layout in here and the design is very upscale, of course, because this is a luxury vehicle. It's very nicely done, very comfortable. The drive quality is really good. Road sound is a little loud, but not bad on the highway, just louder than I would want in a luxury car. But again, this is a sport-based vehicle. You get a lot of feedback through the pedals. You get good feedback through the steering. So you feel in tune with the vehicle as you drive. Let's look at pricing. Let's talk about the price tag on this. So looking at the Monroney, you can see that with delivery and everything, this is about $53,000. That is not bad at all. The only add-on that costs anything to this is the Apex Blue Pearl paint, which is $500. Other than that, this is as is with the A-Spec package, which is great. Because I honestly would expect a couple of these things to be upgrades not included in a package like this. Looking at the highway mileage, it's listed at 26 miles per gallon on the highway. I did not get that. I got more like 25.5, but as you can hear from what I've been doing today, it is very, very windy, and there's a fair amount of crosswind on that freeway. So I think hitting 26 is totally doable in this vehicle. This is, again, 272 horsepower, 2-liter direct injection, 4-cylinder turbo, 10-speed automatic, and this has super handling all-wheel drive. I want to talk about that engine and transmission a little bit. The engine is peppy, really peppy. That power comes pretty early on, and then the 10-speed transmission is nicely tuned to getting you getting that power to the wheels, just keeping it there. Also, the off-road is amazingly good in this. Nobody would expect a vehicle like this to be good off-road, but I have driven off-road since this generation appeared, and holy crap, is it surprisingly good. Now, it's not going to rock climb, you're not going to take it to Moab or the Rubicon or whatever, but it is a very, very good vehicle for off-road. It will do more than you might expect of it. That's probably the best way to put it. Now, I wouldn't put it hard through paces on a regular because it's really not made for that, but it will do more than you expect it to do, and that's a good thing. Otherwise, really well-tuned engine, very nicely done as far as the drive and everything else. All right, so there you go. That's what I got. This has been Aaron with the 2022 Acura RDX. Talk to you again soon.